Brought to you by Standard Bank, the bank for entrepreneurs.
Some of the common mistakes that new entrants to the agricultural market make is specifically a focus on the technical side of production and not necessarily on the economic requirements and the capital requirements that go along with that technical production. So you find people coming into agriculture who then does research regarding how to produce a specific crop. But the portion regarding the financial requirements that goes along with that crop often, gets put on the back burner sort of after the fact. And I think that is a critical part of planning or entering into agriculture, is to make sure that one does understand the economics around producing a specific crop. The barriers of entry for entrance into the agricultural market mainly consist of capital. Because agriculture is capital heavy, agriculture then tends to be lending heavy. In other words, you need to acquire funding to get and acquire those assets that's necessary to produce whatever product you intend producing. Over and above that, the understanding of the market and the constraints within a specific market or a value chain in which you operate could potentially be a barrier of entry if you do not understand the specific cycle of that product, the specific market which you operate in, and to make sure that you do not enter at a time when the product necessarily is experiencing strain, whether it be from a climatic perspective or from a pricing perspective. The barrier of entry with regards to capital when you enter into agriculture, which is the main constraint for entering into the agricultural market, consists of two sections. It obviously consists of the capital portion and then the working capital piece that sits alongside that. To produce a hectare of maize would cost you in the vicinity of 8,000 Rand just for the production portion of that. Now, I'm just using maize as an example. Having said that, though, that is just the production piece, and that's the working capital requirement which you need to attend to. Over and above that, you have a capital requirement that you need to understand, because you need to have the necessary equipment to cultivate that hectare that you want to plant. And for that piece, there's a significant investment required to make sure that you do it the right way. Now, there's different ways of overcoming that. You can obviously partner with somebody, or you can go and rent some of that equipment, or you can then apply for finance, but then again you need to be 100% sure as to what the capital requirements are, what contribution from your side you can make from a cash perspective, and if not, can you get a partner in who can substitute that cash contribution, and then from there you can acquire those assets. Standard Bank can assist new entrants into the market firstly by assisting with the financial planning portion. So if you have a plan, or if you have an idea that I want to produce a specific crop, one of the things that Standard Bank then can do is to assist you with that, actually the financial planning that sits around that, to check whether you have addressed your working capital cycle, to whether you have addressed sufficiently your actual capital requirement, your goods, your land, has that been suitably addressed. So we can provide that service by means of our agricultural economists, which we have across the country. The second portion which we can obviously also look at is to bring you in contact then with some of the industry bodies where the specialist knowledge sits insofar as that specific crop that you want to cultivate. We partner a lot with those industry bodies across the various sub-industries within agriculture to make sure that we also understand the technical developments that take place on their side, and we bring that information into the way we look at the planning portion.
Brought to you by Standard Bank, the bank for entrepreneurs. Standard Bank. Moving forward.